popular stereotypes about all 50 states. Let's get started. Alabama is all about football, Southern accents, and family reunions that some say get a little too close. Alaska is just ice, snow, and bears roaming the streets. If you live there, you must either be a fisherman, a survivalist, or both. Arizona is just a scorching desert where summer feels like an oven. Somehow, people are still shocked by the heat. Arkansas is just farmland, Walmart, and people who still don't wear shoes. California is all surfers, celebrities, and kale smoothies. No matter where you go, traffic is a nightmare. Colorado is all mountains, hippies, and people who love hiking way too much. Connecticut is just rich people, preppy clothes, and endless traffic between New York and Boston. Delaware is so small, people forget it even exists. Florida is full of retirees, alligators, and the wildest news stories. If it's crazy, it happened in Florida. Georgia is peaches, sweet tea, and Atlanta traffic that never moves. Hawaii is beaches, surfers, and tourists who butcher the word aloha. Idaho is just potatoes, and people who swear their state is more than just potatoes. Illinois is Chicago, and a bunch of farmland nobody talks about. Indiana is all cornfields, basketball, and the Indianapolis 500. Iowa is basically just endless cornfields and the place where politicians pretend to care every 4 years. Kansas is so flat and empty that people only know it from The Wizard of Oz. Kentucky is all bourbon, horse racing, and fried chicken. Because KFC is basically a state symbol. Louisiana is Mardi Gras, Cajun food, and an accent no outsider can understand. Maine is lobsters, lighthouses, and people who think anything above 40 degrees Fahrenheit is shorts weather. Maryland is all about crabs, Old Bay seasoning, and arguing over how to eat seafood properly. Massachusetts is full of history, bad drivers, and people who take their sports way too seriously. Michigan is all cars, lakes, and people using their hand as a map. Minnesota is all lakes, cold weather, and people who are Minnesota nice but secretly judging you. Mississippi is all Southern pride, sweet tea, and rankings you don't want to be last in. Missouri is barbecue, weird weather, and people arguing over how to say the state's name. Montana is mountains, cowboys, and more cows than people. Nebraska is just corn, football, and people who think it's exciting. It's not. Nevada is just Las Vegas and endless desert. If you're not gambling, you're probably lost in the middle of nowhere. New Hampshire is just trees, live free or die attitudes, and no sales tax. New Jersey is all diners, bad drivers, and people who swear it's not just highways and factories. New Mexico is aliens, Breaking Bad, and people constantly reminding you it's not part of Mexico. New York is either skyscrapers and pizza or cows and confusion about why NYC gets all the attention. North Carolina is barbecue, college basketball, and beaches where tourists get sunburned instantly. North Dakota is freezing cold, empty land, and a population so small, you forget it exists. Ohio is just corn, bad sports teams, and cities that people are always trying to leave. Oklahoma is tornadoes, cowboys, and a state shaped like a frying pan for a reason. Oregon is rain, hipsters, and people who insist their coffee is better than yours. Pennsylvania is either Philly, Amish country, or Steelers fans who take football way too seriously. Rhode Island is so tiny, you can drive through it before finishing your coffee. South Carolina is sweet tea, palm trees, and people who act like it's still 1860. South Dakota is Mount Rushmore, empty highways, and way too many tourists looking for Sturgis. Tennessee is country music, whiskey, and mountains full of moonshiners. Everything is bigger in Texas. Trucks, hats, and pride. And yes, cowboy hats are practically required. Utah is national parks, Mormons, and people who think caffeine is dangerous but chug Diet Coke. Vermont is maple syrup, Bernie Sanders, and people who take farm to table very seriously. Virginia is history, suburbs of D.C., and people arguing if they're part of the South or not. Washington is coffee, rain, and tech nerds who never use umbrellas. West Virginia is mountains, coal, and country roads taking you home. Wisconsin is cheese, beer, and Packers fans who wear foam cheese hats unironically. Wyoming is Yellowstone, cowboys, and more bison than people.